In the previous episode, Liam discovers an unexpected opportunity for quick wealth when his friends Jack and Mark offer to set up a secret Bitcoin farm in Toronto, Canada, in exchange for huge guaranteed profits. After investing everything they have and purchasing mysterious devices that weren't what they seemed, they manage to complete the complex setup and start the project that promises them a fortune. Jack said to me, "You know what? We have to document this moment." I said, "Okay, sure," he said. "You're going to film a video of me." He handed me his phone, opened the video, and pulled a white V for Vendetta mask out of his bag and put it on. The moment I saw the mask, I was startled. I had seen the mask somewhere before, but couldn't remember where. But of course, I was so happy about the first step of our project that I didn't pay attention. I filmed a video of him as he joked around and made gestures for the camera. After he was done, I stopped recording and gave him back his phone. After we finished, Jack told us we're going to make a follow-up schedule, and we all have to stick to it. I said, "What follow-up schedule, Jack?" Mark looked at him, laughing, and said, "Jack, we don't understand anything about what you're doing. Aren't the machines supposed to run by themselves?" Jack replied to Mark, "Yes, the machines will run by themselves, but someone has to sit in front of them and monitor them, and it has to be one of us. This is very important. I see and just get someone to sit in front of the computer and fall asleep or get distracted and ruin everything we've done. So we all agreed on a schedule based on our work hours." I said, "Okay, I'll take the night shift." Mark said, "I can take the afternoon shift." Jack said, "I'll take the morning shift." Jack started to sit us down at the machines and explain the screens to us. He told us, "The numbers in front of you should not go above 200. As long as they are between 100 and 200, we're good." The second screen had a globe with a lot of numbers and other things. He said, "For the second screen, the most important thing is that the dots don't change colors. They shouldn't be red or purple or any other color. They should stay somewhere between yellow and white." The task wasn't complicated. "Is there anything you don't understand?" he asked. We said, "No, it's fine." He asked, "What if something goes wrong?" He said, "If that happens, you have to call me immediately. No matter what time it is." We said, "All right, as long as all we have to do is monitor these things. It's not complicated. It's fine." He kept emphasizing it, saying, "Guys, you have to watch these things carefully." We told him, "Don't worry, we'll keep our eyes glued to the screens." We started the first week following the schedule. The job was simple, but it was boring. You're just sitting there, your eyes glued to the screen, watching the same numbers go up and down, and you don't understand anything. So from time to time, I'd take out my phone to play a little and chat, and every so often I'd check the numbers. They were fine. I'd look at the globe. The colors were fine. Everything was okay. Until one night, I took over from Mark. I was sitting there playing on my phone at AM when my internet data ran out. Oh no. What time is it? AM, my phone could only make calls. Who was I going to call and talk to at AM? I still had 6 hours left on my shift. I'd be stuck there for 6 hours with nothing to do. I started to wonder what I could do. I could end use the network because Jack had locked it and said no one could connect to it. I looked at the machines and thought, it's crazy that all these things are running on the internet, and I can't even get on Facebook. I looked at the machines and found a cable sticking out. I remembered Jack used to connect it to his laptop when he was doing the setup. I thought, well, I'll go get my laptop from the car quickly and try to connect with this cable. Maybe it'll work. I'll be careful. I won't go to anything strange, just YouTube or Facebook or something like that. So I went and got my laptop, came back and plugged it in. Of course, the laptop was slow and kept freezing. To be honest, I was embarrassed to ask Jack to fix it because he was so busy with our project. I thought, this will be a good way to pass the time for now. The moment I opened Facebook, a woman sent me a friend request. Who was she? I accepted it. She started talking to me and was very nice. She told me she was from Canada and lived near me, but her profile had no picture. I said, we've been talking for half an hour now. Can you show me a picture? I can't imagine you. She sent me a link in the chat and said, this is me. I opened the link and a blank page came up. I was about to go back and tell her the page was blank when she went offline, and all the chat messages between us were deleted. Then my laptop started to freeze badly. It wouldn't open or close anything. I looked up at the screens I was supposed to be monitoring. I had been distracted with the girl for about an hour and had forgotten to check them. I saw that the numbers weren't just over to 100, they were over to 1,000. And on the globe, the lights Jack told me about were flashing purple, and things were flying left and right. It was so strange. I felt like a disaster was happening. After a moment, the screen started showing lots of errors, and then strange codes started flying up and down. I knew everything was going wrong. I didn't understand what was happening, but I was sure everything was broken. I took out my phone and tried to call Jack. He wasn't answering. I sent him a message saying, "The numbers are over 2,000 and everything looks broken. There are a lot of lights. Your phone is off. Call me right away." I waited for a bit. There were no other options. The screens kept changing, and new, even stranger things kept coming up. At about 4:15 a.m., my phone rang. It was Jack. I answered. "Jack, everything's broken," he said. "What did you do?" I said, "I didn't do anything. I just plugged in my laptop to the cable you were using and opened Facebook." He yelled. "Didn't I tell you not to mess with anything and not to touch my setup? Hang up, hang up, I'm on my way." I hung up. 5 minutes later, I heard a car pull up outside. How could he get here so fast? I looked out the window. I saw Zane get out of the car with 4 bodyguards. I have no idea where he got them from. The moment I saw that, I knew I was in trouble. I tried to call Jack again to warn him, but his phone was off. I called Mark. The first time, he didn't answer. The second time, he answered, and he sounded very groggy. I told him, "Mark, wake up and focus. There's no time. A gang is coming for me right now, and they might kill me." "I don't know what's going to happen," he said. "What? What's going on?" I said, "Listen to me. There's no time. The gang has a guy named Zane. Remember that name, Zane." Just then, I heard a loud banging on the door. I told him, "Mark, try to do something quickly. Don't call the police because I think we're involved in something big." Then I heard a muffled gunshot, and I knew the door's lock was being shot. I held the phone with the call still open to Mark and hid it under the desk. I looked behind me and saw Zane right in front of me, but he hadn't seen me hiding the phone. One of the bodyguards stood by the door, and 2 grabbed me and held me in the middle. Zane walked up and stood in front of me. He said, "How are you, Liam?" I said, "What do you want, Zane?" Wasn't what happened to me enough? All because of your dirty business? He ignored me and walked over to the machines, looking at them. Then he turned and looked at me, and he started to laugh hysterically. I thought he had gone crazy. He suddenly stopped and looked at me. He said, "Well, it seems you're into the dirty business too." I asked, "Dirty business?" "We're just Bitcoin mining." "What are you talking about?" He said. "Who told you these machines were for Bitcoin mining?" I said, "My partner Jack." He said, "Where is he?" I said, "He's on his way." Zane sat down on the desk chair and turned to me. He said, "Well, let's have the honor of meeting Mr. Jack." He picked up the V for Vendetta mask from the desk, the same one Jack had worn for the video. The moment I saw Zane holding that mask, I remembered. Zane had the same mask hanging on the wall of his house. I started to wonder, could Jack be a hacker like Zane? I looked at Zane and asked, "Zane, how did you know I was here?" He looked at my laptop and said, "Isn't this the laptop you brought to me when you had that root room problem?" I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "I'm sorry, my friend, but I had to monitor your every move after that last incident." But honestly, I was surprised. I didn't think you'd become this good. He gestured to the machines. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You'll find out when Jack gets here." A moment later, the door was knocked on. It was Jack, and when he saw the broken lock, he turned and ran for the stairs. But unfortunately, one of the bodyguards was waiting downstairs. As Jack ran down, he crashed right into him. The bodyguard grabbed Jack by the neck and brought him to Zane. Zane looked at him and laughed. Well, Black Zombie, right?" Jack stayed silent and looked at the floor. Zane said, "I knew it was you behind this. I was standing there in the middle of all of this, not understanding anything." Zane looked at me and said, "Go on, Jack. Tell him what these are." Jack didn't say a word. Zane looked back at me and said, "Okay, let me tell you what this is, Liam. These aren't mining devices like he told you, and they don't mine Bitcoin at all. These are all servers, and they serve the dark web, making it easier to operate and trade in this country. Their profits are much bigger than Bitcoin mining, but the risks are also much greater. Imagine you helped build the first dark web data center in Egypt," he said, "but in any case, it's mine now. Honestly, I don't know how to thank you guys." Then Zane got up from the chair and said, "Let's go." I asked, "Where are you taking us, Zane?" He said, "That's a surprise. You'll find out now for more stories." subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button.